Last time, we saw the results of Cell and Piccolo's training on Beerus' planet, as well as how Vegeta's training has been helping Gohan. With all these fighters going down different paths to gaining new powers, what kind of consequences will that have for the story? Especially because this part will definitely have its own consequences. We'll be seeing all that and more in this part 6 of What If Cell Lived. Gohan and Beerus stare each other down, with Beerus ready to fight now. The two prepare for a pretty explosive duel, with Gohan eager to show off his power in Super Saiyan Blue. Of course, everyone watching is just as intrigued too. Piccolo and Vegeta as Gohan's teachers, and Cell as one of his rivals, with Buu just there to enjoy the fun. Gohan vanishes from sight, appearing right next to Beerus and attacking. Of course, Beerus isn't anywhere near his full power, but he blocks Gohan's attack and it actually does push him back a significant amount. He's using more power than in their first encounter, and he can immediately tell Gohan has grown significantly. Maybe he was fine here after all, although he does wonder how much Gohan would have grown if he did come to Beerus' planet. Gohan says there is no need. He does appreciate the offer, but Vegeta trained him well enough here. Plus, there's all the years of training that he's had with Piccolo, and most importantly, Goku. He's had some great teachers and a lot of great experience. Plus, he had a pretty great sparring partner with Buu. Now, as you'd probably expect, Gohan's not going to end up winning this fight against Beerus. But Beerus notes that his growth is immense. Cell and Piccolo could easily tell too. They didn't realize he grew this fast. Had he been on Beerus' planet, he probably would have been the strongest thing around. But here, even with just some normal earthly training for Vegeta, he's closer to their level. Not at their strength, but still close. He's keeping up pretty well. And Cell is still intrigued to see what he's capable of. He's not too practiced with his own godly powers, nor is Gohan. He will fight Gohan again, but once they're both at their peak. He even almost tries to fight now, but it wouldn't be too fair. There is one thing that does come of this though. While Gohan won't go to Beerus' planet, someone else does. Beerus is pretty impressed to see that Vegeta became a Super Saiyan God, and invites him to train there. Of course, he's gonna go. And it's not like he's just leaving Gohan because Gohan has Buu to train with here. Vegeta already helped him unlock Super Saiyan Blue, and now Vegeta wants to get it for himself. Piccolo actually decides he's gonna stay here for a bit though. Now that he's far beyond his previous state, he could take the mantle of teaching Gohan again. He says Vegeta might have taught Gohan well, but he gave Gohan his first rigorous training after all, remembering back to when he kidnapped Gohan. Now that Gohan can withstand a lot more, Piccolo's ready for some more intense training. Some time goes by. One day at Capsule Corp, some familiar device shows up out of nowhere. It's a time machine, and there's a familiar face in it. It's Trunks. Bulma first calls Gohan and Piccolo over. Vegeta's still gone with Cell on Beerus' planet, but Buu comes over alongside them too and says that he's got this, closing his eyes and then disappearing, teleporting over to Beerus' planet, and then coming back with pretty much everyone that was on there, including Beerus and Whis themselves. And Gohan's a little bit unsure about Cell being here. He doesn't necessarily know how Trunks will react, but Cell says it's gonna be fine. And just like they expected, once Trunks regains consciousness, the first thing he does is attack Cell in a blind rage. How is he back? And Cell effortlessly blocks all the attacks. And Trunks isn't even holding back at all. He assumes something terrible happened to this timeline. Another Cell might have showed up. He doesn't even know what to think. His thoughts are rushing through his mind. But Cell teleports out of the way, and Trunks gets a moment to look around. He sees that he's definitely at Capsule Corp. Everything isn't destroyed, and there's all these different people here. It's everyone he expected. Gohan, Piccolo, Vegeta, Bulma, and some large pink dude, and a large purple cat. Trunks asks what's going on here. Is this the timeline that he was at before? It should be, but why is there a Cell here? And then Bulma tries to calm him down, saying it's kind of a long story, with Vegeta scolding Cell because he knew this would be trouble too. Bulma catches him up to speed, and Trunks does have some mixed feelings about Cell being here. Apparently he's not bad anymore. He's not necessarily a great guy, but he's definitely an ally by this point. But he still can't believe that, and Cell says it's kind of fair. He did kill Trunks after all, and was responsible for Goku's death too. And apparently the other androids are alive as well. They haven't seen 17 in a while, but they know for a fact that 18's good by now. She's married to Krillin, and funny enough, she does have the same view on Cell as Trunks does. Well, that's kind of a big shock to him, but he also just can't trust anything that he's seen anymore. Even if they say Cell isn't a threat, he still doesn't believe that. Not just because it's Cell, but because of the reason he's here too. And he explains it to everyone. In the future, he was fighting a foe that looked just like Vegeta. He's relieved to see the normal Vegeta here, the same one that he saw before in the Cell Saga. But there was another one attacking his timeline. He looked like Vegeta, but he had completely different clothes than normal. He didn't act like normal at all, and his ki, he didn't feel Vegeta's ki coming from him. At first, he didn't believe what he was seeing, but now he realized that it's definitely some sort of imposter. It's not the real Vegeta. But still, seeing the face of his father causing all these atrocities, Trunks doesn't know what to think. And this kind of pisses Vegeta off too. Someone's going around impersonating him? He'd like to kill that guy himself. So why is there Vegeta Black in this scenario? Well, I'll explain a bit here. Zamasu of course did see the tournament in GodTube, and he already had a disdain for mortals, especially because they were messing with time. And everything about this tournament pissed him off. Unlike with Goku Black in the main story, he didn't meet Vegeta here, but he didn't need that to send him off the deep end. The tournament itself was enough. From what he saw about Buu, he's apparently some pure evil being that they were using. He doesn't know his role in the group, but he knows that the mortals are using him somehow. And from what he's heard, he goes around causing destruction everywhere he goes. Obviously not knowing about how Buu is now. And Buu had specifically acted against the Kais in this universe before. Why are those Kais standing for keeping him around in the first place? He represents a failure of gods and mortals, but doesn't seem useful in Zamasu's plan. And then he saw Cell, another example of mortals playing God. creating their own life forms somehow. And not just that, but he's an anomaly. He's from another timeline. He shouldn't be here in general. Artificial or not, he doesn't belong in this timeline. But the thing that set him off most was Vegeta, using the Super Saiyan God form. And as he got some research done with Zuno, he figured out some more interesting things. Apparently the person who time traveled in the first place in Universe 7 was Vegeta's son. The person who created the time machine, his wife. The same time machine that Cell also used. It all leads back to him, and that infuriates Zamasu. And for that reason, he takes Vegeta's body. And that leads us to where we are now, as Vegeta Black shows up in this timeline. He's about to make some grandiose speech, but as soon as he shows up, Trunks confirms that that's the same Vegeta attacking his timeline. And without hesitation, Vegeta immediately flies up, transforming into Super Saiyan Blue midway. At first, he has the intent of killing Vegeta Black, but he actually restrains himself at the last moment. They gotta find out who this guy is before he kills him. And why specifically he was attacking Trunks' timeline, that could be a threat here too, just like the android and Cell were. Vegeta Black can't do anything against Vegeta's attacks. But he likes this, fighting Vegeta at his peak. That's a new form, he didn't see that during the tournament. And he knows he can grow a lot stronger from this too. And while he can't fight back, he does see the time machine, and tries to destroy it, but it's not so easy this time. Cell's able to appear in front of it immediately, completely disintegrating the attack. Vegeta continuously beats on him, trying to get some more info out, but before he can do anything else, Vegeta Black is pulled back into the future timeline by a portal. This is great timing. He'll just be healed by Zamasu and grow even stronger. And as he arrives in the timeline, he thinks to himself, did he misjudge by stealing Vegeta's body? Of course, he stole it for symbolic reasons. And Vegeta is strong too, but he saw how strong everyone else was here. He still knows nothing about Gohan because he didn't see him perform in the tournament, and he doesn't know how strong Cell is. But that Buu guy seemed pretty powerful. The thought of swapping bodies with Buu disgusts Zamasu though. Buu is literally just pure evil incarnate. So while he's strong, Zamasu can't get with the idea of taking that body. But was Vegeta the right call? He still couldn't fight against the normal Vegeta. No, it wasn't the wrong call. He'll grow stronger. That fight will make him grow more powerful. And he regroups with Zamasu, who's also a little bit confused about what happened there. But he says this is good. He heals Vegeta Black, who grows a lot stronger thanks to the boost in power. It also feels like he might have unlocked the secret to gaining a new level of strength. He wonders if he could use that red-haired or blue-haired form. In the main timeline, Bulma's refueling the time machine. But here, Vegeta Black's been trying to tap into some new power. They make no moves for the next day or so, but Vegeta Black feels like he's finally gotten it. Seeing Vegeta once and fighting him, it helped him unlock this new strength, and he decides he's going to try and test it out, summoning all of his anger and his power. And Zamasu watches on, impressed as he's surrounded by a pinkish aura. They're so distracted by this that they don't even notice. A time machine has showed up nearby, but there's only one person on it. It's just Majin Buu. And right off the bat, he can sense Vegeta Black's power, feeling godly ki now. Quickly he teleports over to where they are, and what he sees shocks him. He sees what looks like another Supreme Kai there. And Vegeta Black's there with a new pink-haired form, having only just powered up into it for the first time. And he can sense that the two of them have very similar energies. Not just because it's godly ki, but because they just feel like the same person almost. He can't explain it. Well, if they knew it was something to do with the Kais, they definitely would have gone there by now. It also would have been more convenient because they could have gotten a time ring and Buu probably could have even used it. But that doesn't matter now. Vegeta Black turns around, welcoming Buu, wondering why he's here alone. Buu tells him not to get too cocky. He opens his hand, and there's a few pieces of candy in there. And one of the pieces of candy flies out at Vegeta Black, landing a powerful blow right in his face. Why does this candy have godly energy? And how did it move on its own and attack him? There's a blinding blue light as the candy transforms, turning into Vegeta in Super Saiyan Blue, with the rest of the candy turning to Cell, Trunks, Piccolo, and Gohan. Cell commends him on the entrance, and Trunks has to get serious. What? It was a fun entrance, but Gohan says it was necessary to fit all of them in the time machine. Trunks still isn't glad that he has to work alongside Cell, and that he's not taking this seriously either. Same with Majin Buu here because he knows what Majin Buu is supposed to be like, but at least he can kinda get behind that. He's been purified and all, and clearly he's way different from the Buu that was supposed to be awakened in his timeline. But Buu mentions what he was sensing, and they see the Kai standing there alongside Vegeta Black, who's now in a battle with Vegeta. So somehow that other Kai is involved, and for some reason they have very similar energies. Since Vegeta attacked him so quickly they didn't even notice the time ring or the earring. And no one made the connection beforehand, and this is the first time that they're actually realizing that this guy's related to the Kai somehow. And now that Buu's getting a closer look, he could actually see this. Although they did come back here kinda quickly though. Maybe they should have spent some time checking with Beerus and Whis first. Or even better, Shin and the other Kais. As the two Vegetas battle, Cell points a finger over at Zamasu, asking him to explain everything right now. Zamasu tells him to watch his tongue. How dare he command a Kai to speak? Cell should only speak to him when spoken to. Besides, it doesn't matter anyways. They've already won. The fight between the two Vegetas tells him enough. Vegeta clearly can't keep up. And Gohan tells the others that he's going to join in, powering up into Super Saiyan Blue himself, launching into fight alongside of Vegeta, with Trunks then following behind going into Super Saiyan 2. But Cell, Piccolo, and Buu still don't feel too concerned. Piccolo then says if they've already won, this guy might as well just explain what's happening. And Zamasu explains everything that's going on here, and explains that it's too late for them to win as well. Vegeta Black's already grown far stronger than before. Nothing they do now will stop them. Cell says he's not too sure about that. He points a finger at Zamasu, firing a barrage of death beams through him rapidly. He falls to the ground momentarily, but then gets back up completely unscathed. Like he said, they can't win now. He might not be as powerful as the other Zamasu, but he's completely immortal. He has a perfect body. Nothing they do will stop him. Really, he's perfection? Cell doesn't really know about that. Vegeta Black actually is facing some problems now. Vegeta and Trunks together he could take, but with Gohan there, that's really causing some issues for him. But his anger is fueling him, although not nearly enough to keep up with both of them at once. And Piccolo tells Zamasu he might want to take a look at the other guy. It seems their plan really isn't going that well anymore. And Zamasu looks up surprised. Vegeta Black is losing. But that doesn't make sense. He knows Buu is probably the strongest of the group. But Vegeta should be close behind. He has the power of a god after all. Of course, they haven't seen this blue-haired form, but still, he should be strong enough to counter Gohan and Trunks too. And Piccolo says he might have not done enough research. Vegeta was actually the weakest of their group. He even laughs a bit, saying Zamasu might have been better off stealing one of their bodies. Gohan, Piccolo, Buu, even Cell. Maybe then he would have been strong enough to fight them. But it seems like if they give it a few more minutes, that Vegeta's not going to be able to keep up and he's going to die. Vegeta seemed really pissed to see an imposter, so he's going to make sure there's nothing left of him. And Zamasu's visibly nervous. Vegeta Black can't even hear what they're saying because he's so far away now, being pummeled down by Vegeta and Gohan together, with Trunks providing support as well. And Trunks can't believe it. They're actually going to win here. This guy was causing problems for so long and now they're just easily beating on him. He's not surprised to see Vegeta's this powerful, but Gohan, he can't believe how much he's grown since the last time they've seen him. They're definitely going to win here, and they don't even have the other three fighting alongside them. And then Zamasu tries to mentally communicate with Vegeta Black. He tells them it's time, there's no other option. But Vegeta Black tells him to wait. Just give him a little bit more time to fight, heal him afterwards. But Zamasu says there's no way it's going to work. They need to enact their trump card. Vegeta Black doesn't like it, but he kinda has to face the facts here, and tells Zamasu to do what he must. Zamasu then nervously looks over at the rest of the group, and then smiles. He takes off his earring, and then places it on his other ear. Piccolo and Cell have no idea what he's doing, but it takes a second for Buu to realize what's going on, and then he screams. He tells him to destroy the earring, but it's already too late. It's on his other ear. And Zamasu is pulled away by some weird force, flying across the destroyed city. And Cell looks back at Buu. What's going on here? And Buu explains. He didn't recognize it at first, but from the knowledge of the Kais that were in him, he knows that the Potara are somehow able to fuse people, merging them together. This is actually because a while ago, Cell tried to unlock all the Kai's memories within Buu, using his own magic to do this to try and make Buu a little bit smarter. There's all the memories and magical abilities of the Grand Supreme Kai, as well as the South Supreme Kai, and those could have been used for Buu's own intelligence in its training, and this was part of that. And it's a big reason why Buu is so much smarter now, besides Cell's influence in general. And Piccolo asks what he means, like Namekian fusion? No, much more potent than that. It permanently combines two warriors into one, resulting in a fusion far stronger than the sum of its parts. They're fusing as a last resort, but what's that gonna do now? They're gonna have all the power of Vegeta Black and the immortality of Zamasu. Buu slams on his head, pissed that he didn't realize this beforehand. But Cell tells Buu not to worry. It can't be that bad, right? Buu has never even seen fusion after all, he's just going off his knowledge of the Potara earrings. And while Buu is a lot smarter than normal, he still is kinda childlike. So Cell assumes he's freaking out over nothing, but Buu has a good reason to get scared. Vegeta's group watches on confused as Vegeta Black then suddenly flies away. Clearly not willingly, he just flies through a bunch of buildings. And then in the middle of the city, there's a powerful flash of light, as Zamasu and Vegeta Black collide. Buu then flies over to where the fusion happened, with Cell and Piccolo following behind, and they meet up with Vegeta, Gohan, and Trunks there. They see a giant pillar of light in the middle of the city, and it dissipates. There's a figure floating in the middle of it now, with a giant halo surrounding him, and in all his glory, fused Zamasu floats there, introducing himself. Those mortals won't be a problem any longer. The divine power flowing through him. It's so glorious, so overwhelming. And on top of that, he has the immortality of Zamasu, the one from this timeline. He can't believe that he became even more perfect than before, and introduces himself as the true Zamasu. The others look on a bit confused, with Buu looking on in terror, and Cell looking on with a smile. Really? He's perfect? He doesn't think so. And Cell says even if they fused, it's still not going to be enough. They have a pretty large group here, and they're all pretty powerful. A team-up might work to hold Zamasu off, and they'll figure out a way to defeat him. He says first he'll start off by fighting alone, while they think of some sort of plan. This should be fun for him too, because it's going to be the first time that he can fight alone with his newest power. Trunks says he's insane, and Buu actually agrees, although Trunks thinks it's because Cell might be plotting something, but Cell tells Trunks not to worry. Besides, if Trunks thinks he's plotting something, then he could think that. He doesn't need to prove himself to Trunks, but this fight against Zamasu will be more than enough evidence for that. And it'll show Trunks that he doesn't have to worry about Cell anymore. He is just here for a great battle after all. He's not going to team up with Zamasu or anything, especially because he's claiming he's perfect. Cell's not going to take that. And right before he steps up, he turns back to Trunks. If he did truly want to kill Trunks again, it would have been done already. Although he apologizes for how he did it before. And Cell stares at Zamasu as he powers up, glad that he could finally show this in battle. As the others come up with a plan, he's going to hold off Zamasu and get to test out his power in the meantime. A red glow surrounds him as he summons the power within him, the power of all his parts, the Saiyans, the Frieza side of him, the Piccolo side of him, everything within Cell, the things that make him perfect. This is the culmination of that power. This is God's Cell, and he's ready to face Zamasu. Besides, this battle might even let him ascend this form, but that remains to be seen. This is where we'll leave off for now. What do you guys think about this part? What's going to happen next time? Leave any thoughts or suggestions in the comments below. I'd love to see what you guys think. As usual, be sure to drop a like and subscribe if you haven't already, especially if you want to see more parts of the series, or if you just want to help out the channel. Anyways, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all in my next video.